So we will be recording today's webinar. So if you don't feel comfortable being recorded, you're free to keep your cameras off, but you're welcome to turn them on as well if you do feel comfortable. We'll be sharing the webinar with all the participants after today's recording. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to turn on your camera or turn on your microphone and ask. In the webinar, we're going to be going over a lot of information today. So please don't hesitate to type in the chat or turn on your microphones and ask your question. So I'm going to start by, why is my thing working? There we go. I'm going to start by introducing the Digital Service Squad, who is putting on the webinars today. So we are a team of students, Leo, Chloe, and myself, and we're all in attendance today. We've been assisting small businesses in Holman County with their digital presence. So our agenda today is we're going to go over Instagram for Business. We're going to talk about business accounts on Instagram, how to use hashtags, making Instagram Reels, ads on Instagram. And we're also going to go over Instagram Insights or the analytics, and then there'll be a brief question period. But as I said, please don't hesitate to ask questions in the middle. So I'm sure you all recognize that Instagram is a vital component of social media marketing now, but you might not know why. So Instagram started as a photo sharing app that was first developed in 2010, but the app has expanded massively, and now it's a vital part of marketing and e-commerce. Instagram has over 1 billion active users currently, and over 72% of Instagram users reported purchasing a product. To speak on a personal example, I've bought several items from Instagram before, and some of them have not even been in Canada. I've had targeted ads from companies across the world and have bought products from them. So Instagram is a great way to advertise people all over the world and reach a customer base you would never have encountered with a traditional brick and mortar store. So we're going to go over some key functions of Instagram. And as I said, there's going to be a lot of information. So, and if you don't understand anything, please stop me and we'll go over it again. And if you have a more in-depth question, please don't hesitate to, after the webinar, reach out to Chloe, Leo, or myself, and we'd be happy to have a one-on-one with you to go over your more specific or high-level question. So before we begin, I have a photo here of 2 different Instagram accounts, and I was wondering if anyone could tell me some differences you see between the 2. So you can unmic, or you can say on the mic, or you can put in chat, just anything that you see a difference between these 2 accounts.
One has more posts, more followers.
Yep. So
they can have the spotlights and the adapt. They can have extra stuff that people can be looking through, the reels or whatever they're called.
Yeah. So the Sprout Social has highlights at the bottom, which are a collection of stories that you can put together to amalgamate onto your profile. And I see someone says one looks personal. So yeah,
so profile picture.
Yes, there's a different profile picture as well. So you can see on the left-hand side, this is a personal account, and personal accounts can be public or private, and they're made for specifically a person, whereas the one on the right is a public business account. And you can see several indicators that makes that so. So as you can see under the Sprout Social name, it says product or service. So you know that it's not a person, it's a business. It also has an address in the bio, which you don't usually have on personal accounts. And you also have the ability to contact, which you don't have on personal accounts. As I said, personal accounts can be private or public, while business accounts are always going to be public. And there's also the difference in followers, followings, and posts. But that's not always indicative of private versus public. I wanted to show more of the things in the bio and the things on the profile that would make it a business account versus a personal account. So next, we are going to go over how to create a business account. Sorry, there we go. So I'm going to show some screen recordings that I made last week. And it will show the steps of making a business account. So you have to start with a personal account on Instagram, which is a pre-existing account. You can't just start and make a professional account. But I made one to simulate a cafe opening up in Caledonia. And we're going to go through some of the steps. So you're going to start by tapping edit profile on pre-existing page, and then you're going to go to your settings, and then you go to account. You're going to scroll down to select switch to professional account. And then from there, you're going to select a category. Because I'm a cafe, I'm going to go with a restaurant. But there are many options here, so I'm sure you're going to be able to find one that fits your business. And you're also going to want to display that on your profile. So your customers know what kind of business that they're looking at when they find your page. You're also going to want to indicate that you're a public business. You might want to, unless you're an artist, you might want to put creator, but there's a little difference between a creator account and a business account. So next, you're going to want to add the contact information to your site. You're going to want to include your address if you have a physical store, and then also your email and your phone number. Please be aware that this is going to be public on your Instagram page, so don't share anything that you wouldn't want to share with everyone. And then there's also going to be an option so once you put in your contact information, there will also be an option to connect your Facebook account, which is very easy. I'm not going to show that here, but you're just going to put in your login credentials, and I would suggest that. So next, you're going to finish filling out the profile, and you're going to put in a picture, a profile picture, a website, a name, and description. So here I'm just putting in a name. And next, you're going to want to add your website and your bio. So your bio is going to be a quick little description of what your business is. Some other things you might want to include in your bio might be your store hours. Oh, I see a chat. Can you add more than one business address? You probably can't add more than one business address into the actual app, but you can include multiple locations into your bio, and that might be a good use of your bio. But I would say if you have multiple locations, that you use your main or your first location as your picture or as your location. You're also going to want to add your website if you have one, but make sure that your website is mobile friendly before you put it into your Instagram profile. Because if it's not, then it might be confusing for phone users. And finally, you're going to want to put in a profile picture. This could be a logo, as I have here, or it could be a photo of your business, or even a photo of yourself, anything that fits your business. I would recommend, though, to use a consistent branding of profile pictures across platforms. So you're going to want to have the same profile picture on Instagram and on Facebook, for example. So now we have a Facebook, not Facebook, an Instagram business page all set up. So next, we're going to go to expanding your network. So when working with small businesses, we often are told that people have a hard time having engagement on their profile, even though they have a fully set up profile and they're posting. They just have a hard time getting people to interact or getting people to follow them. So this is what I would recommend doing. So you're going to think of some businesses in your area, like if you're a physical store, think of the stores that are around you. Or if you're a home-based business, maybe think of the similar businesses in your field, and you're going to look them up on Instagram. So I'm going to look up, because I'm in Caledonia, I'm going to look up Bella and Coop. And you're just going to start following them. And you're going to do this for several different stores. I would suggest looking up other cafes in Haldeman that are, if you're a restaurant, of course. And then also following pages like your local Chamber of Commerce, your BIA, or even Haldeman Tourism. And these are going to allow you to connect with the people that are in your similar areas of service, but also it will show you as a recommended page to follow to people that also are following these pages. And this is important for also building up a network as you want to engage with the people in your similar service while also engaging with their followers. So another good thing about following people is that you can go in. So as you see here, I have followed the Argyle Street Grill. And once you follow pages on Instagram, suggested for you is going to pop up. So you can see Jake's Grill and Oyster House and Wiggy's, which are just similar restaurants in the Haldeman area. So let's say in the future, someone goes to follow the Carolinian Cafe. And because I have followed the Carolinian Cafe and I interact with them and we have similar followers, I will pop up as a suggested for you because I've made that connection and I followed similar businesses in the area. And something you're going to want to also do is you're going to want to interact with them. You're going to want to like and comment on their posts, react to their stories, tag them in your posts to facilitate a relationship between the businesses. This will also strengthen the connection so that you will most likely be recommended to people when they visit the other pages. And I can attest to this working because, as I said, I created the Caledonia Cafe Instagram page last week, and I just left it there. I made a single post just to share with you all how to make a post on Instagram. And I also followed 10 people to make this video here. And through that, I was able to gain 80, it says 80 followers. It was 80 this morning, but actually, as I've been sitting in the office, it's up to 84 now. And people have been sending me messages and commenting on my post because they were recommended the Caledonia Cafe when they went to go view other pages that I followed, such as the Carolinian or the Argyle Street Grill. So just from my one post and following some people, I was able to accumulate almost 85 followers. So imagine how many followers you would be able to accumulate if you're following all the businesses in your area and like your BIA or your chambers, and you're actually consistently posting. So that would be my my recommendation for how to expand your network and how to gain followers. It's an easy way to do it without having to pay for advertising. So next we're going to go over how to make a post and some strategies again of how to promote your posts without having to like pay for advertising. So you're going to tap the square plus button up in the corner here to get to create a post. And you're going to select a photo and you can edit these photos as you wish. So I have a pre-made graphic here that I made on Canva that's going to advertise that my shop is opening soon. So you're going to want to add your location. I just added Caledonia, Ontario, but the more that you use your specific business tag, you're going to be able to create your business as a location. For example, if you're going to go to the Carolinian Cafe Instagram page, all of their locations say Carolinian Cafe Cuba instead of just Cuba, Ontario. So that would better identify yourself within the Instagram algorithm. And next, you're going to want to add a short description just so your followers know what they're looking at. Within the caption, I would also recommend using hashtags so you can reach out to people that would not be following you already, but maybe looking at those hashtags. So I just included hashtag the Caledonia Cafe, but you might want to use, like say you're a cafe, you might want to use hashtag coffee, hashtag small business, stuff like that. So yeah, you can see here, I'm just adding a hashtag. So other things that you might want to do to make your posts a little bit more relevant, you might want to tag people. I'm going to go in and tag Tourism Haldeman. Oh, just give it a second. Yeah, so I'm going to go in and tag Tourism Haldeman, but you might want to tag, let's say your BIA has an Instagram account, you might want to tag the BIA, you might want to tag your chamber. You could tag Tourism Haldeman if you think it's relevant, or other businesses or collaborators that you want to credit within your posts. So once you do that, you're going to tap share. And now your post will be active on your page, and your it will go to the feed, the Instagram feed of your followers. So we're going to talk briefly about Instagram stories. So these are different than posts. They're little stories or videos that will stay on a profile for 24 hours and then disappear. And they're a good tool to boost engagement with followers, and also to post like small photos or graphics that might not be relevant to or warrant a full post. So to access the story feature, you're going to swipe all the way to the left. And now you are in the story mode. And you can either take a photo. Oh, I see a chat. Yeah, I'm going to go over tags and hashtags right after stories. So we will get to that. So you're going to go into the story feature, and you're going to choose either a pre-made graphic, as I have here. I made this one on Canva as well, or you can go and take a photo or a video just by yourself. And I didn't do it here, but you can also go in through here and add elements like hashtags, location markers, or even music onto your stories. And so once you've edited it, you're going to share it to the story on your page. And then you'll be able to see it on your profile right here. So this purple bar that's around the profile picture is where your stories are. So once you tap that, the story will pop up and you'll be able to see whatever you posted, as you see here. So now we're going to just talk briefly about hashtags. And I want to explain why they're so important. So they're a good way to expand your Instagram audience. When you use a hashtag, your post will appear on the page for the hashtag. So as you see in this photo on the left, someone has looked up the hashtag for travel, and you can see someone's following the travel page, someone's following travel photography. And then you can also see the amount of posts in each hashtag. And then here on the left, you can see how someone has utilized hashtags in a separate post. So you have the ability to follow hashtags, as I said, and that means that they'll see your tag post in their Instagram feed without even having to follow you. So these are a good tool of how to expand your reach. You're going to have to learn how to utilize hashtags effectively. So as I showed in my post, I just used the Caledonian Cafe, but not a lot of people are going to be looking that up because they're not going to know what that is unless they've already seen my profile. So if I'm going to advertise a Caledonian Cafe, I might use hashtags like coffee shop or like tea, coffee, bagel, stuff like that, where people might be searching that up or following it, not necessarily hashtags that are specifically catered to your business. So I'm going to talk very briefly about Instagram Reels because they're becoming quite popular on Instagram, and they're also the algorithm of Instagram are starting to cater directly to Reels. So they're short videos. They're similar to TikToks. And it's recently, as I said, Instagram is redesigning its algorithm around Reels. Reels have replaced the main home button on Instagram, where it used to be creating a post. It's now the Reel page. So Reels are a good way to build your community and grow your reach on Instagram. It's a good way to share little viral videos of your business to your audience. And it's a huge way for people to advocate for their brand and boost your business or your sales to a platform. So you could create reels for a whole bunch of different things. You could show off your shop, you could show new inventory, you could show a process, maybe if you're a service. For example, if you're a woodworker, maybe you want to create a small reel showing the work. So I have a very short reel just of a small business owner showing off some of her inventory. So they're very quick, very consumable. And you can also put in hashtags, just like on a post to reach people beyond your audience. I want to add that reels are not necessary for a successful Instagram account. I know that many of you are busy and probably don't have time to be filming videos every day. But I did want to explain to them because they explain them to everyone because they are becoming very popular on the platform. And if you do have the time, maybe they're a good thing to explore in the future. So I also want to touch briefly on Instagram Shop. It's a new e-commerce feature on Instagram. So obviously the Caledonia Cafe doesn't have a shop because it's a restaurant and I just made it up. So we're going to look briefly at Bella and Coops. So you can access the shop from the main Instagram profile, as you can see here. And from there, you're going to go into a catalog with all the different items that they already have on their shop. So there was I think about 16 items on Bella and Coops shop. And once you press a specific product, it will take you to that product's page, which with more photos, the price, the ability to view on the website and the description. And once you view on the website, you can go and make the purchase. The shop feature, you can combine sales channels for your online store and your other sales channels. Maybe you're selling on Facebook, maybe you're selling on Marketplace. So Instagram would be able to combine that and you're able to sell your products through there, which is a very useful tool. As I said, I've purchased things off of Instagram Shop before. So now we're going to go over Instagram ads. So I've shown you some ways to promote your posts without spending money, but I'm going to do a simple overview of running paid advertisements on Instagram. Now, if you're already running ads on Facebook, you can go into the Facebook Ad Center once you've combined your Facebook and your Instagram account and just run ads through your Facebook Ad Center. But if you don't have a Facebook or if you're not using Ad Center, you do have the ability to create ads by either boosting posts or creating an ad. So there are 6 different types of ads within Instagram. There are the story ads, photo ads, video ads, carousel ads, collection ads, and explore ads. They all have different functions and different assets. We're trying not to go over too much in depth. So I encourage you all to do some research into what kind of ads would best fit your page and what you are capable of running. So you're going to want to also, once you've chosen the type of ad you want to run, you're going to want to pick a goal, which would be what you want to drive the people that view your ad to. So you either want to drive them to your profile, which this would be a good function to increase if you want more followers, and if you want to have more awareness towards your brand or your business. You could be driving them towards your website. That's usually if people have an e-commerce website or an online store and you want to drive people to your online store to make a purchase, or you want to drive people to your direct messages. And that would be more relevant to people that are a service or are trying to get people to make appointments. You'd be wanting to drive them to the direct messages to start a conversation with you to make an appointment for that service, or just general inquiries in general. So now that you've chosen a goal, you're going to also want to choose an audience. So your audience is the people who you're targeting the ad to, and you can either create a custom audience or use an automated audience that Instagram creates for you. So a custom audience is good if you have a good idea of your audience demographics or the people that are already using your business. So you can choose who you reach based on what your customers are interested in or their location, their age, or their gender. So if you're specifically trying to market towards a specific type of person, you can use custom ads to take out the people who you already know aren't going to be interested in your ad or in your business. But if you aren't really sure about audience demographics and you're just starting out, you can use an automated audience instead. So this function automatically creates an audience based on what Instagram thinks would be interested in your service. And it uses a variety of signals such as like locations are similar to your business, demographics are similar to your followers, and interests are already similar to your followers as well. And lastly, you're going to want to set a budget for your ad. For Instagram, I would definitely say less is more in terms of advertising. As you can see, this photo on the right has a bunch of different posts from a club that I participate in at university. And you can see the usual amount of people who view our posts is around 200, 150. But we boosted one post, which is a form of the advertising on Instagram. And we were able to get almost 4,000 people to view our ad with only $5 worth of money spent on it. So you can definitely have a significant reach without breaking the bank in terms of advertising. And I would recommend in terms of budget, do what feels right for you. Don't spend too much money when you're not sure how the ad's going to turn out. And I'd also recommend keeping ads up for about 7 days, because that allows the most amount of people to view your ad without generating ad fatigue. So the same people are seeing the ad too many times. So you want to keep it about 7 days. And it also lets Instagram ads delivery system learn about your audience and who's interacting with your posts. And again, like I would say, just do whatever feels right for you. And the more that you run ads, the better equipped you will be to run ads in the future. So the average ad, it really depends on who you're going to reach. So usually ads are generated not by like a post, but by who you want to reach. So as I said, my club paid $5 and we were able to reach 3,000 people. So you're going to want to generate it more by how much money you're willing to spend. So if you're only willing to spend, like say, $5, then your reach is going to be limited to around 4,000 people. But if you're willing to pay more than that, then your reach is going to be higher. So it's not that you're spending money specifically on an ad, it's you're spending money specifically on how many people are going to reach that ad. No, I'm not sure if you can advertise a reel. I'm not too familiar with reels. As I said, they're quite new. But you can advertise a story, and you can advertise different types of posts. Like I said, you can do carousel, which would be a bunch of different posts collected as one, and you can do videos. And I'm sure probably in the future, you'll probably be able to advertise reels. I'm just not sure if that's a function yet. Okay. And now we are going to move on to our last topic, which is Instagram analytics. So I mentioned identifying your audience, and a good way to identify your audience is the Instagram Insights tab, which is your analytics. So you can access your insights from your main profile right here. And we're going to go over the Instagram Insights from one of Chloe's side businesses, Lake Erie Labradors. So once you go into Insights, you're going to get an overview that shows your analytics for the past 7 days. There are several pages you can enter. The first one is Reach, which shows how many people have seen your profile or seen your specific pages in the last in the time period specified. So this isn't people that are interacting with your posts. These are people that have strictly just seen your profile. So you can see specifically what they have also visited, so their profile, or if they've touched the email tab or the contact tab. And it also shows how many people have seen stories. So specifically here, so Chloe's only posted one story in the last 14 days, but if you're posting regularly, you're going to be able to see all the different stories in here, and it will go by who's seen it the most. And then you can do the same for top posts and also reels as well. And then if 7 days isn't a good amount of time, you can also switch to 30 days, which might be a better indicator of how your profile is performing overall. In here, you're also able to see how you're performing based off of a previous time frame. So obviously, this is showing from February to March, and because there's been a kind of a lack of posting on this page, the activity has gone down. See here, you can see profile visits have gone down 64% since January and February. And again, you can go see top stories, top posts, top reels within 30 days. So the next thing we're going to talk about is interactions. As I said, interactions and reach are different. Interactions would be who's been commenting, who's been liking, and who's been saving your posts and also sharing. Instagram has recently, as I said, redesigned its algorithm to now it's trying to prioritize people that save posts as opposed to liking it. So maybe you want to have more posts that cause people to share. So maybe you're advertising a sale and you want, and people will be saving that so they can see what the sale is in the future without having to go to your profile. So you can, when you're looking at interactions, you can do the same as you're doing with reach. You can see how people are, who's commenting the most, who's, what posts are getting the most interactions, stuff like that. So you can also go in and take a look at the follower breakdown, which is a good tool to see what your audience is, obviously. So it's going to show a graph of what days you gain followers or what day you lost followers in this case. It's also going to show you some demographics, such as age, gender, and activity. So you can see here the breakdown of ages that are interacting with the profile, such as followers and just general interactions. And these demographics are a good thing to know when you're targeting, when you're creating an audience for targeted ads, because maybe you're advertising specifically to your audience, but maybe you're also trying to identify a gap in the people that are viewing your profile and using your services. So let's say Chloe here, she's really strong in the 25 to 34 range with women. So maybe she wants more older women, so 35 to 44 and up. So maybe she wants to target specifically them, or maybe she wants to start targeting men just to fill in that gap. But you might also realize that that's maybe not relevant to you and you just want to focus on your specific audience, and that's okay too. And these demographics, these insights are going to help you identify who that specifically that is. And another thing that's included in here is active times. So you're going to be able to go through and take a look at when your followers are using Instagram the most. And from that, you're going to be able to identify when's the best time to post an ad or a post in general that would get the most engagement and the most reach. So now that we've gone through a lot of functions for Instagram, I just want to share some tips that I have found are the best for utilizing Instagram. So try and post something every day, whether that be a post, a story, or a reel. I find for restaurants, for example, so if I was running the Caledonia Cafe, I would probably try and post my daily specials every day as an Instagram story. And this just makes your page look more relevant, that it's not like abandoned, that's being used, and that people can contact you if they feel the need, like send you a direct message. If someone goes on Instagram and you haven't posted in maybe a couple of weeks, people might think that it's not a good idea to contact you because maybe you're not active. It's always good to interact with your followers, like and comment on their posts or on the comments on your page. Repost stories, which you have the ability to do, just to show that you care about your followers and are trying to foster a good relationship with them. Another thing you can do is schedule your posts in advance. You can do that through Facebook. We also have an upcoming webinar that's going to explain how to schedule posts on social media. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I would encourage you to come to that. And you also want to encourage your audience to interact with your posts. So this could be let's say you're going to take a photo of your daily special at a restaurant, and it's maybe it's a type of cake, and and in your comment you can, or in your caption you can say, we're selling a delicious carrot cake today. What's your favorite kind of cake? Which is prompting your followers to comment, which boosts the interactions on your post, which would make it appear to more people. So I know we went through a lot of information, but if anyone has any questions, I am free to take them now. You can also always send me or Chloe or Leo an email with more specific questions if you're not comfortable asking them during the recording.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, of course.
When I use business so I can post both to Facebook and Instagram at the same time, it saves time. And then I know, I mean, I want the same information on both of them anyway, so I'm not having to do a double post. But a while ago, I was on a presentation. I don't recall what it was, but it said that in terms of hashtags, they're great for Instagram, and that's really driven. But Facebook tends to exclude you out of algorithms for too many, or like, is there any way, is there a good happy balance? Like, is there a number of hashtags to limit it to? So when you're going to both, you're not missing out on, hitting those algorithms with Facebook as a result of your hashtags? Or, am I reading more into there? Is it just when you have, you see some people with 40 hashtags, is that what Facebook is sort of not?
Yeah, so I would definitely, so I showed a photo of someone using hashtags, and they did put a lot in there, and I wouldn't always recommend doing that, especially in the descriptions of posts, because it does look pretty cluttered. And I also think it's a good idea to combine posts on Facebook and Instagram, because it is a lot easier, and I know everyone's very busy. So I would say the best would be to identify some very key hashtags to use. That way that you're not being kind of trampled by the Facebook algorithm. But if you do want to use like a lot of hashtags, something you can do is go into your Instagram post and then add the hashtags in a comment. That way it doesn't show up in your description, but it still shows up in your post. I know that might not be as efficient because you want to use the efficiency of posting of Facebook and Instagram together. But you're not wrong in that there is two separate algorithms on both websites. And I'd say that would probably be the best way to work through both of them. So you're getting all the hashtags on Instagram, but not all the hashtags on Facebook. So you're reaching that Instagram audience while not losing the Facebook audience.
Excellent. And I just have one more question. That is about links in Instagram. I've just recently started creating events. So most of my posts were more informational. Now I'm like, click this link and register and that kind of thing. And I've noticed that links don't pop up in the description when I do an Instagram post, or it doesn't look like a link that you can click on. So I know that that's not how it's working, but how can I get a link within my Instagram?
So you are allowed, so unless you have like a lot of followers, like I think it's 10K or something like that, like a ridiculous amount, you're not able to include pop-up links and stories. And you're only allowed one link in the description. So what a bunch of people are doing, they're going to a website called Linktree, where you can create a bunch of different links within. Oh, I kind of wish I included it in here because it would have been good to show, but it's a good, so you can have all your different links. So how people are using it, like, so you have a single link tree. Let's say I have a link tree for the Caledonia Cafe, and you click that and it's going to take you to a page that has like, let's say I want to have my menu online, upcoming events, photos. So I would definitely look into Linktree because Instagram does limit you to one link per description. And I don't think you're able to include links in the descriptions of specific posts. You can only do it in your bio.
Yes. So I've noticed it doesn't, it's just like, I mean, they can copy and paste and put it in their browser, but anytime you can take a step out for your customers, you're more likely to get that. Wonderful. That answers all my questions. Thank you.
No problem. And I see a question. Yeah, so if there's no more direct questions, I'm going to also advertise some upcoming webinars that we are, oh, sorry. As I said, we're going to be sending out the webinar afterwards. So here are some helpful links that might help you with advertising practices and promoting your business. As I said, I did a very quick overview. Oh, sorry, I see that Deb has raised your hand. Do you have a question, Deb?
Yes, I did have a question written down there, but perhaps you didn't see it.
Oh, I'm
Just
sorry.
wondering if you can, that's okay. Can you review again, how do you link your Instagram page to Facebook page?
Right, so it will, when you're making your profile, it's going to prompt you to connect to Facebook. And you
Okay.
would just go in and you'll just fill in your login credentials for your Facebook. So your email and your password. If you've already made your account, then you should be able to go into settings and connect them quite easily. It's actually very easy to connect them because they're owned by the same corporation.
Okay,
So they try to get you to connect.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, as I said before, we are hosting some webinars in the coming weeks. Social media planning, as I said, that would be a good thing to go through if you're looking to post several things in advance, and video editing, which Leo's going to show people how to edit videos through a free software. So now I'm going to thank everyone for attending. Thank you, everyone, for coming in today. As I said, I went through a lot of information today. So if you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'd be happy to set up meetings to help you with more high-level questions. And just for attendance purposes, because we like to track everyone who shows up, there's someone that came in with the name 938230. If you could just put your name in the chat, just so we have the ability to track who attended today. And yeah, so I'm free to stick around. I'm going to stop recording now, but everyone's free to go unless you have some questions. I will, me, Leo, and Chloe will be sticking around for a little bit longer if you have any questions.